Every city has its stories, those whispered warnings that kind of become local law. But some tales, some are more than just rumors. Today, we're going to dive into a really chilling legend, one that takes place long after the city has gone to sleep. This is the story of Kuroyami Station. It really all comes down to this one simple, terrifying question. A question that most folks in Kuroyami know better than to ever try and answer. Because in this city, there's a rule. It's this unbreakable piece of advice that's been passed down for generations. Sounds simple, right? Pretty clear instruction. But well, like in all good horror stories, rules are made to be broken. And the consequences? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. So let's meet our protagonist, a guy named Akira. Now, Akira, like a lot of us probably would, he thought this warning was just some silly urban legend. But one rainy night, fate just kind of conspired against him, pushing him directly into the path of the very story he'd always laughed off.
I mean, it is the perfect storm of bad luck. First off, his phone's dead, so no calling for a ride. The streets? Totally empty. And when he finally gets to the station, the lights are doing that classic horror movie flicker. And there it is. Just one train, sitting there, completely silent and weirdly spotless. Its doors sliding open like it was waiting just for him.
The second he steps on board, he knows something is off. The whole atmosphere is just wrong. The other passengers are unnervingly still, their faces pale, their eyes vacant, almost like they're a bunch of dolls. There's no talking, no one on their phones, just this heavy, unnerving quiet. Akira grabs the seat, not realizing he's just crossed the point of no return. So as the train starts to move, Akira looks out the window, expecting to see the city lights blurring past. But there's nothing. No lights, no tunnels, just an endless, absolute blackness. It's pretty clear the train isn't in Kuroyami anymore. It's somewhere else entirely. And then, the intercom crackles to life with an announcement. It's not a station name, not a transfer point. It's a destination that confirms every single fear that's been bubbling up inside him. Next stop, your regret. This is it. This is the moment the legend becomes terrifyingly real. Akira's attention snaps back to the other passengers. He knew they were strange, but now he sees the true horror. See, it's not about how they look sitting there in the car. It's about what's looking back from the window's reflection. What he sees is just impossible. In the train car, a person is sitting perfectly still, but in the reflection, they're headless. Another passenger has this faint smile, but you look at the glass, and their reflection's eyes are just weeping pure shadow. He realizes with this jolt of terror that reality itself is completely broken here. As Akira looks around frantically, he notices one more terrifying detail. All these strange, doll-like passengers, they don't cast a shadow under the train's lights. Not a single one. But he does. He is the only one with a shadow. He's the outsider. The living among the, well, whatever they are. Suddenly, the train screeches to a halt. Not at a station made of concrete and steel, but one that seems to be built from bone. The doors slide open, and a voice echoes through the car, explaining the terrible, terrible price of his ticket. So, the train isn't a transport service? It's a trap. It's a perpetual cycle. To get on, you have to pay your way, and the currency is your very place in the world. As this sinks in, cold, desperate hands start reaching out for Akira. He screams and squeezes his eyes shut, bracing for the inevitable. But then, there's sunlight. Akira finds himself lying on the platform of the real Kuroyami station. The morning rush is starting up, people are bustling past, totally clueless about what he just went through. A huge wave of relief just washes over him. It was a nightmare, but it's over. He survived. But just then, he hears that familiar chime of a departing train. He looks up and sees that same spotless, silent train pulling away from the station. And through the window, he sees a passenger staring right back at him. It's a boy with his face, his eyes, his everything. Akira is standing there on the platform, totally alive and whole, but his reflection is on the train, taking his place among all the other soulless passengers. He didn't escape. He just paid the price. And that leaves us with the story's final, lingering question. A reflection is supposed to be part of you, right? A mirror of your soul. So if you lose it, if it gets trapped on a ghost train for all eternity, what part of you is actually left standing on that platform? Are you still complete? Are you still even you?